Hello, welcome back to the Wisdom Well podcast. I'm LJ.
My name is Larry.
And I am a singer, if you did not know.
Yes, you are. You're a dynamic singer.
I'm about to drop a record.
Come on. Let's go.
Want to thank all of our subscribers and our people who are supporting us, man. I just want to say thank you to our
Is
tribe,
your record
man.
gonna be called Cowboy LJ? I just
had
to Cowboy.
Where is the shirt at? Why aren't you wearing the shirt tonight?
I should be, man. We need to talk about that too. That big old snub from Country Music Awards. That was wild. That's wild.
Beyonce didn't even get. Okay, okay.
Roll the tape back. I said something about the fact that that's how we know what true change is.
We have a topic in mind, but let's divert to this one second.
Let's do it because we got a lot to talk about today.
How did Beyonce not get into the country? Like how, bro? How?
I don't know.
What's your guess?
What does it take? You don't want my guess.
No.
I do think that that the gatekeepers,
the powers that be,
the gatekeepers of powers that be, gatekeepers.
Don't want her to
I
win,
think that they're very sort of tough with respect to who they're going to allow into the space.
Wow.
And I see I'm not in agreement with it. I think that she created a record, and it's not a traditional country album, but it's I think there are a lot of layers. I think that that the country music industry is probably one of the last frontiers where people still buy records, CDs, albums.
Yeah.
And so it's profitable in a different way.
Right.
And I think that if we just open that up to probably what has been seen in typical pop music, like right now we're fighting so many battles, like with Spotify, with is music free?
Yeah.
I think that I think there's just a lot of layers to it. But unfortunately, I think the layer that most people can probably point to is there something wrong with her as an individual, and is it because of the color of her skin?
Interesting.
Is it there needs to be answers,
Do you think because she didn't call it a country record, she called it a Beyonce record, they were just like, cool, we're going to stick it to you then?
I don't know.
Because I feel,
these are just my opinions.
No.
I think that she created a traditionally country record, not the album, but this ain't Texas,
right.
Texas Hold'em,
right?
That is a tradition. That is a country song.
Yeah,
it just is. It shot up. It probably should have been shot up. Probably should have received something.
Yeah.
So that makes no sense that song did not do as well as it did on the charts.
Yeah.
Which typically is an indicator for awards.
Yeah. Success.
And for it to not be. Now I could get with like the fact that they may have been like, I know about the album.
Okay.
But the song should have probably had some sort of nod.
And let me ask you, how do you feel about this being a super Beyonce fan?
I'm a super respecter. I am a super respecter. Hey, it's a loss for us all. I'm gonna look in the camera.
Larry over y'all haters.
For us all. It's a loss for us all.
Larry is over y'all haters. Stop hating on Beyonce. Oh my God, that wasn't even our topic.
No,
but we needed to get that off.
We were talking about your country album that's coming out.
Yeah. Nah. We
banned.
I know exactly. No. Man.
Thank you for letting me take that side step.
I'm glad because man, I know you were just like, dude, that's whack. I know you.
Yeah, it's a little bit whack.
This is kind of whack.
We're kind of late reporting,
because we've been talking about a lot of different things and. It's like, why can't she just get the respect, bro? Like what is that about?
Yeah. But I love the fact that again, she is okay. With being the villain, and she hasn't said anything about it. I haven't seen anything about it.
Not one thing.
She is living her best life. She got her businesses.
Yep.
And she just she's gonna make a $1 trillion with Levi's and
Lord of mercy. That's crazy.
The alcohol beverage, and she's gonna move on. She's not even gonna think about it.
She don't even. She don't got no care in the world, and then she get ready to do something.
And I feel like that is probably what really bothers those individuals who try to stop her or feel like they have a stop on
Mm-hmm.
her ability to continue to grow. And I
Yeah.
think that's a masterclass lesson in being an artist.
Yeah.
That even someone at her level who has won so many awards or been a part of so many things and
Yeah.
have truly changed the lives of people musically
Yeah.
speaking,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
in many ways musically. That for her to not be bothered and to still continue creating despite these perceived setbacks, that is definitely a testament for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
for when we're doing something or when we're challenged by people on our teams that don't understand things, or challenged by producers or people that are working with, or channels that we have to go through,
Mm-hmm.
that we can still persist and then our dream can still come true in different ways. We just
Wow.
gotta find another way and still believe in ourselves. So
And honestly, man, I feel like even though this was like a little divert,
yeah.
which our topic is emotional intelligence, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that is an example I think
Yeah.
is of proper emotional
It is.
intelligence.
It is.
And I know that the Diddy thing has come up where like that has taken over the news
It
lately.
has.
And then R. Kelly is back in the news and a lot of different things. It's like, man, it's like we
Yeah.
wanted to kind of bring up the topic of emotional intelligence, and where does that sit amongst, men like myself, and like women who are out there like, yo, like they've been abused for so long and actually can't say, or feel like this person is too powerful because the Cassie stuff is out, right? Like.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know all the details and I can't speak on all the things. And a lot of it is
course.
accusations. A lot of it is, real documented things, and he's going to court and all that. But the Cassie thing is real. That
We saw
actually
that.
happened. We actually have documents on that.
Mhm.
And to know that that person did that to her and she didn't deserve that and didn't have a way out and dealt with that abuse for so long, it's like, we need more emotional intelligence. Like, when we are hurting, we need to go see somebody for help. We need to go actually look into our emotions and decide and to rectify a lot of the trauma that we have.
Yeah.
Like, if you are dealing with something so heavy,
Yeah.
go see someone about it.
Yeah.
But abusing someone, especially a man abusing women, that is never ever acceptable and never ever cool.
Yeah. And I also feel like there's a level of emotional intelligence that can also be used. I'm not saying for this particular topic, but emotional intelligence, listening to those signals in your own, like those red flags in
Yeah.
your, and sometimes I think and some people have called Diddy a narcissist before.
Okay.
And sometimes understanding that narcissistic behavior is very different, and it can manifest in different ways. And sometimes you need to understand the signs of a narcissist to know what are the ways to back away slowly, before you get too deep.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes it's tough. It's really tough. And I don't want to speak on the specifics because I don't know all the details of the situation.
Yeah.
Definitely do not love what you I mean. Obviously, your eyes, you can see someone being
Yes, being abused.
and that is
Yeah.
not okay.
Yeah.
And also too,
I think
not
when you
knowing
see it-
what led her to get there, what led her to be trapped.
Yes.
And just that's just a really sad story.
Yeah. I think like when you actually see it and you like, oh, that's actually Diddy and that's
Actually
Cassie.
Cassie.
You know what I mean? And you're like,
It was shocking.
What is that about, bro?
I think
like,
it really just shocked and just like it just really, really. It's almost like and I know this people will be like, what? But like when I saw the footage with George Floyd, when I saw that, it was just like I was just mesmerized.
when you see it,
just like
when you see it,
you see it happening, and then
you
you're
can't
just like,
unsee it.
you can't unsee it. You don't. I'm glad I won't want to unsee it because it's just like I don't want. You just see that
It
was
changes your view.
monstrous.
Yeah, it changes
That was
your view.
monstrous.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah.
Do you think we put? And I'm gonna make a little turn here. Do you think we put a lot of hope and energy into leaders who aren't really, You know what I'm saying? Like we
That's a great
Diddy
question. I
was
see
a
what you're saying.
pillar at a certain point for a lot of black people. Let's just be
Yeah.
100% real. Like Diddy was a high figure for a lot of
Hmm.
people.
Hmm.
And then when you see this, it's like, man,
He's like a pinnacle
yeah,
of black
of black
entrepreneurism
entrepreneurs.
and black
He made a
excellence.
billion. So like, why
Mm.
would I not want to be like Diddy? And then this stuff
Yeah.
comes out. Like, how do you think that affects our industry or just the black community? As a whole.
It definitely impacts it negatively
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
And it's things that you just, I mean, you just
You just don't want to.
you some of
Yeah.
your heroes you just don't want to,
Crazy.
you don't want to believe it, but
Yeah.
you also don't want to have your heroes, potentially just killing people's lives,
Yeah.
and in some cases, like,
Man.
their spirits. You just don't want that,
And for people who are in abusive relationships, man, we should try to do like a number or something. Like I got to get better at
Yeah,
editing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But like we need to
Seek
figure out how to
help.
plug a number in somewhere
Yeah,
where people can go get help. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
And I
Because
think a
people
statement.
are suffering silently,
Yeah.
and that's never cool,
Yeah.
bro. I don't care who you are. I
Hmm.
just don't care who you are. Like you don't ever need to put your hands on anyone that you didn't raise. And
Absolutely.
even then there's a line there too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it's just one of those things where it's like, man, and then to hear all the things, again, these are allegations and I don't know what to be true or
Hmm.
false,
Hmm.
but if there's other people that are involved in this whole shebang,
Yeah.
man, that really could change our industry as we know it.
Yeah.
And as you see, people are already getting fired left and right
Yeah.
or stepping down from major positions, CEO of this, CEO of that, general manager of this, and people are just like just stepping down. Like I just think like the temperature in our industry is very odd. It's very
Yeah.
weird, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. So, yeah.
It's very sad,
Mm.
you know, um, because I know that that young lady had dreams
Mm-hmm.
of doing a lot of things,
Yeah.
and that just wanted to potentially just do music,
Yeah.
you know.
And the ramifications of things coming out, right? So like let's just say you hear of abuse, but then when you actually see it now it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's Cassie. That's Cassie. She was abused. You know what I'm like now she's gotta live.
Mhm.
Like it's just messed up, bro.
Yeah.
It's just messed up. I
Yeah.
mean it's
Yeah.
and so,
And not to mention the people that we will never know. We will
mm,
never know their name. They're not famous. They didn't have, they didn't make the decision to form litigation. They
yeah.
didn't to do a lawsuit. We'll never know their names, and they might not even be on the earth anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
They might have spun them into,
Mhm.
emotionally into unhealthy spaces where they could be anywhere.
Yeah.
So I think with reference to emotional intelligence, um, listen to that little voice inside when something's
That not right.
not right
Go
from the
seek
first
help.
time. From the first time, and I think emotional intelligence is a really huge thing. And I think that we sometimes we don't always value it.
Yeah.
I think we always value sort of book smarts,
Mhm.
and which is a level of intelligence. But I think that emotional intelligence, to me personally, is defined as being able to, understand people,
Mm-hmm.
and how they think and how they move, and or to take a series of, events or occurrences in
Mhm.
your own life, and to obviously with the help of, and I believe in therapy,
Yeah.
to set up,
I'm just now getting there.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
my subscribers, I'm just now getting there.
Good, and I'm
And that's a
praying
lot
that you
coming from a
continue.
black brother from the country
Yeah.
who ain't never heard of no,
Yeah.
you know.
But I think with the help of just strong, healthy people in their minds,
Yeah. Yeah.
developing an actual library of, of language and of experiences, so that you can stay clear of certain, because there are people in this world, they are not great,
Man, and when
not
I
great.
think of emotional
We're gonna try to-
intelligence, I think of just not being aware. Just
Mm.
not being aware of how you actually feel.
Got it.
Like there are things that we as men and women are dealing with, and then like you said, like it's like you feel like something's just not right.
Yeah.
And then I guess the second part of that is taking the action to
Exactly.
figure out,
Yeah.
why do I think this way?
Yeah.
Why do I feel this way? You hear a lot of emotional intelligent. Girl, he, in dating, you know what I mean? It's like, girl, that he ain't emotional intelligent enough for me. Like, yeah, because he's never been taught to figure out what he's actually feeling. He's too busy trying to work, trying to pay the bills, trying to make sure the lights is on. Like, he don't understand, like, oh, my wife or my girl or this person, like, they need something from me. Or to say, hey, something's not right, and having a safe space to talk about how they're actually feeling.
Absolutely.
So I think
or to tell the individual, hey, this is not right.
Yeah.
So I feel like for me,
or something's not right.
Exactly.
Something's not right here in my heart or in my feeling.
Because I feel that emotional intelligence is discernment. It's an ability to discern what is happening on a level that is not, that you can't touch, taste, or see it necessarily, like blatantly. But it's like you can't put your finger on it, but you know that this is not the space to be in.
Yeah.
Or you know that something is said, but something is said underneath what is being said.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a huge level of emotional intelligence, because people give nonverbals all day. Like I mean, this is my personal definition of. I'm not saying that this is the Webster's dictionary definition, but this is how I've come to learn and to sort of work within emotional intelligence. It's just, because I feel like people are my books, and I love the lessons that I'm taught by people, but also too, people teach you about them,
When you say like the nonverbals, like what do you?
Yeah, like maybe like body language, or their or maybe what they do, like if they're constantly cutting you off. Like if you were saying something and they're just cutting you off and just saying something, or not listening or moving on, not acknowledging your, your point. Then there are layers to that depending on what the situation is. So like, I'll give an example. So if you're in a brand new group of people and maybe there's someone who might be a little bit intimidated by you and your intelligence, and they know, your skill and your ability and also your calling. Sometimes what may happen is that, when you're in environments with a large group of people and people are asking you, they're inquiring about you, this person may find it their chore to like make sure that that they're like putting you down, or even if it's joking. Even if it's joking. Sometimes there's like a little bit of intimidation or just trying to get you at a level that they feel like is at the same as them.
I see.
And so I think that that's one area of, just sort of discerning emotional intelligence. And just how we act towards each other, and just understanding, picking up on those small cues. To understand, but also too is safety too. Like if someone seems like they are not right, like I think we all have an emotional intelligence a little bit. Like when we maybe walk down the street and we can see and make eye contact with people,
there's danger.
That there's danger. Like I think, and it's just sort of levels of it. Because a lot of times, I mean, as human beings, we're being out here in LA. It's really interesting because people will say things, but you need to understand what is like the real thing, So like an example, but is not an example with this, is maybe if you're a young lady and some guy is saying, hey, I really want to help you out in your industry. Asking more questions, asking more questions to discern more. Oh, well, why don't you come to my house? Okay, well, all right. Well, why don't you come to my house at 9 p.m.?
No.
Or 1 in the morning. Then it's like, I have a feeling that's not we're not going to work. I mean, even though music happens at late at night
it does. It does.
Well, maybe not. Maybe that's not the first.
But using your intuition to know, like, hey, I don't feel safe with this person. At least not by myself. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, having that awareness.
Can I bring my brother?
Yes.
No. Oh, well then we're not going.
Yeah.
Just I think emotional intelligence is that too, It's just really just trying to define and discern, hey, what is the situation happening emotionally? Like where is this person at emotionally?
And like I said, man, I'm on this journey as well of growing, with therapy and trusting it a little bit more. And
I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Not that me being proud of you is the goal.
No.
But
come on, man. Are you kidding me? You being
I'm
proud of me is all I
you.
ever want to hear in my life. Larry's proud of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's important to me.
I'm so proud. It's too late for you. I've already been proud of you.
You know a lot of my journey with that, and like how far I've come to like trying to trust that. And there have been some very special people in my life that's helped me get through that part of my life, and I owe them a great deal because trying to trust someone with your emotions is very tough. And I
Ooh,
would say it's tougher as a black man.
it really
I think
is.
so. Because
And we
if you're
can
not
speak on that
if you're
in
not
our statements with that
yes,
because,
if you're not used to that
yeah.
lifestyle and you were raised to be a very bold and strong man and you don't need to go see no strength for help and all of that stuff,
Hmm.
when you raised that way and
Yeah.
then you figure out and find out that you got some cracks in your
Yeah.
life and some
Yeah.
cracks in your emotions and how you view things and
Yeah.
your things that you may have thought was okay,
Hmm.
but that abusive parent was not okay, right?
Hmm.
You start to really reevaluate your
Yeah.
life and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
I don't want to be I don't want to be what is that another a byproduct of what I was raised in
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how my mother and my father did things. I want to be a better
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
so
And when you realize that the world isn't as safe
mm,
as you thought it was.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's when you have to really like that's when the emotional
yeah,
yeah, university
yeah,
steps in.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um because you've gotta sort of learn
Mm-hmm.
and I think we talked about in one of the previous episodes um about maybe that there's a feeling as an African American man
Mm-hmm.
because of some of the stereotypes and some of the
Exactly.
history that there's been a narration that's been happening,
That's right.
a story that has been written
Told.
that we didn't
Yeah.
get to write.
Yeah.
We didn't get
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
write this
There's a
story.
perception.
There's a
Mm-hmm.
perception,
Mm-hmm.
and so when we step into a room, it's like emotional, intelligence needs to be on
On
point
point. And yeah.
because you realize that that people may be having a narrative
Mm-hmm.
about you
Mm-hmm.
and about how you feel and how you move and how black people move and feel
Yeah.
that we have to combat, that we have to educate, we have to set
Yeah.
re expectations, and we have to be on guard to kind of look to see where those might lie,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just the reality that we've seen is that sometimes being an African American man, being an African American woman, being a person of color,
Yeah.
that sometimes you have to work harder
Yep.
than some of our counterparts.
Yeah.
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 Because for fighting those reasons, we're starting the race, behind the blocks.
That's right. That's right. That's
So I think that that's a real thing that happens to people.
Mm-hmm.
And even I think that's also something that's probably polarizing in this whole Diddy thing too,
Yeah. Yeah.
because people are watching,
Yes.
and we want to see, kind of what is justice.
Wow.
What is
Yeah.
justice? And I think that's
Yeah.
what really is people are really looking at this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like how low is the pool here
Yeah.
that he's dipped
Oof.
into?
Yeah. I think
And
we're all waiting
and
for
where's
to
the
see.
justice piece of
Yeah.
it too?
Yeah.
And again, we don't condone,
Of course.
this activity.
And we don't even know a lot to share to
Yeah.
be specific about.
And it's
But
hard to talk about
yeah.
too,
Well,
because
yeah.
how do because someone who was perceived, and we're not making passes for people.
Of course not.
Um, we this needs to be justice should be served.
Absolutely. Point blank in the
Um,
story.
and we're just learning where's the terrain,
Mm-hmm.
what's all happening,
Mhm.
what's really the truth,
Yeah.
and so I think we'll all see.
And I hope this encourages, more people and, more, especially again, you and I have been on this, fighting for men of color, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
To go seek help and to go, be better men
yeah,
as we're trying to be better men, as we're learning, as we're getting information and gaining information, sharing the information that we have, and
how do
you
we
know,
stay healthy
how to stay healthy, bro.
so that because I think there's a
'Cause
piece
God
that
knows I
feels
need it. Shoot.
yeah, or where
know?
does the health turn to toxicity?
Mm.
Where like I could actually be in a relationship with someone and feel like they're my property.
Wow.
Like what are the things that are happening
Jeez.
before, and what are the things that are
Mm-hmm.
obviously being a narcissist is a whole nother ball game.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
That is a diagnosis, and that is
Yeah.
a certain type of activity, and there's not necessarily a cure for that. I think that's a personality.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
but just like I said, just figuring out or the ways that like all of us are not immune to this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why it's hitting so home.
Yeah, this was a good one, man.
Yeah,
I'm so glad
good.
we was able to kind of take our time.
We've
and
been
talk
talking,
about, Yeah, we're diving
Yeah.
into some deep things, and
We got to.
You know, we're diving into some deep waters. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But I
Yeah.
feel like we're growing, and we're hoping that we're helping other people
Yeah.
grow as well.
And we want you to continue the conversation because,
Absolutely.
again, that's how we've always been here. We do not
Yeah.
think that we know every single thing.
No,
That's
no,
not what we're
no.
about. We're about learning. So if you got some knowledge to school us to make sure that we're doing things better
Yeah.
and providing the right information, please let us know and continue to subscribe and comment and give your feedback.
Yo, grateful for all you guys' support.
Yeah.
I am LJ,
I'm Larry.
and we are the Wisdom Well Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in.
God bless y'all.
See you later.